This may sound crazy. Let's get into it.
Hey, crazy cronies. This is Ashley, your host of This May Sound Crazy. I am here with Julie Hirt. She's a soul level animal communicator, intuitive coach, and certified trauma informed grief guide. Hi, Julie.
Hi, Ashley. How are you?
Good. And you have your own podcast too, right?
Yes, I do. Yeah, it's called the Animal Communication Podcast, and I host it with two other women who are also soul level intuitive coaches and animal communicators.
Awesome. I can't imagine how many people are talking in that on this realm and the other realm. It's probably just
Yeah.
Oh, I'm holding this ball. I just realized I have a brass tennis ball I got for my birthday for Nava.
Oh, how cool. I looked at some of the readings that we've had just to make sure that I had her name front and center and everything too.
Is she here with us?
Oh, of course she's here with us. She's like, she wouldn't miss this for the world. She said.
She's the best co-host for me. And I just wanted to thank you. I know I've told you this before, but just to reiterate, you have kept me out of the insane asylum for another time because you turned my grief into gratitude. And I'm just so thankful for this.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. I don't always, I mean, you did share feedback and whatnot, which was wonderful, but it's just always good to hear. We do this work to be of service for the animals and for people. And so to hear that it resonates just means everything.
It was life-changing to me. Now I have a whole grief resource list for people. This is Nava's drawing.
Oh, wow. She loves it, by the way. She's like, I love it. She's like, oh, that's so me. They got my good side.
That's so funny. That's my good side too, is on the left. The way that I found you is from my aunt's partner. She had sent me your podcast with Svetlana. And sent it to me before Nava passed away on Thanksgiving. And then I got back from San Diego, got back to work. And then she sent it to me again after Nava passed away, which I was like, oh, I wish I could talk to Nava. And then I finally listened to the podcast. And I was like, oh, here we go. Yeah. And I went to schedule an appointment and it was at 3:30, which was the same date that Nava passed away on. So I was like, okay, the signs are lining.
Yeah. Oh, that's really interesting to me too, because for me, so my dad passed at 3:33 in the afternoon. So whenever somebody has a tie to that number, like, oh, hi, I see you. There's another little connection. Yeah.
No, it's wild too, because she passed away on 3:30 and then right when she actually passed away was 4:44. And I'm like, that is my soul child.
Oh, yes. Wow. What an angel number. That's cool.
Yeah. So how did you get into this?
So I had two dogs. I'll show you. They're right there on the wall. That's Bono. That's India. They passed away. They were over 15 years old and they passed away within 6 months of each other.
It's like an old married couple, like the Notebook going out.
Absolutely. Yeah. When I reflect back, I found them 6 months apart from each other. I found India first in July. She was just this little puppy. Someone had brought her in to the vet that I was with another dog for and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, I'll take her. And then Bono, I found wandering the streets of where I lived at the time. Oh, I'll take him. And they just became fast friends.
Yeah.
And we did everything together. We moved from Michigan. We moved to Wisconsin. We moved to Ohio. We moved back to Wisconsin. Then we moved to Anchorage, Alaska. They were just my best friends, my confidants. We did everything together. We took all these long walks together. We did all this adventuring together, all this stuff. Yeah. And so when they passed, even though right? It just rocked my world. Yeah. And I fell into a really deep depression. I really struggled for, oh gosh, several months. And I had a friend who does cranial sacral massage and she's also intuitive. And so I would be on the table and she'd tell me afterwards, okay, this is who all appeared. This is what happened. And I'd be like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. So we'd always have these little chats and had become really good friends. And so at one point when I was really struggling, because Bono went second, when I was really struggling and just really missing him in particular, she said, you know what? You need to study animal communication. There's something about your connection with them that's causing you to break open with the grief.
Oh, that gives me chills. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And grief's such a portal that it's an opportunity to go, okay, what do I need to do? And so she's like, you need to study animal communication. So she put me in touch with a school that's called the Lightfoot Way. We did remote classes for, I forget how long. I went through their whole program and got certified. And that's how it started. And I didn't quite believe that I was good enough, right? Or capable of it.
Yes.
because I had a job, a career in advertising, and I was holding on to it, even though it was burning me out big time. And then this dog right here, Lucas, we adopted him. They brought him to me,
Yeah.
which is another story, but he then broke my leg and got me out of, to some degree, started this really path of getting me out of advertising. And then I found my
yes.
and then I found my current teacher, and that's how I learned the soul level animal
Yeah,
communication.
that was
So,
full body chills that time. Because
yeah.
I think like something that people don't realize is when you have this cathartic catalyst or this other catalyst of the universe taking things away, like you couldn't walk, right, for a while, and it was slowing you down. And so
Yeah.
you probably had to work from home or do things differently. And I have a car theory. When people's cars start breaking down, I'm like, oh, okay, you're about to escalate into your next chapter.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. It's
that's crazy.
absolutely true. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do think grief in particular, grief is one of those catapults
Mhm.
that even, and because I experienced with my dad too. And even though it's saddening, it's depressive, everything just is completely changed. And you don't have that safety, that rock that you had before, whether it's a dog, a cat, a dad, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
It's also an opportunity. And like I said, it's like a portal of, oh, things are not finite. I
Mhm.
have things I can do. It's like an opportunity to examine your life and what do you need to
Yeah.
do and where can you go and all the different things to break open. Also, you realize, oh, well, when, my dogs passed, nothing mattered but that.
Yeah.
And same with my dad. It's like when he passed, like email didn't matter. Nothing mattered. Just getting through the day. So it's like, okay, if none of that matters, then where do I actually need to focus? And that's been
Right.
huge.
I think I told you this before that I trained dogs for 10 years, or actually probably around 8 in Los Angeles. And I could have used you so many times, I feel like, but mostly to talk to the parents. Like, I feel that the hardest animal to train was humans.
Yeah.
Like the dogs are easy for me, at least.
Mhm.
Do you find that you can communicate more with them on this realm versus a different realm, or is it pretty much equal?
For me, it's pretty much equal.
Yeah.
I know that some people specialize in like the mediumship, so to say, or they specialize in something else. And I actually keep being drawn to the grief
Yeah.
more for the human's perspective
Yeah.
because it's the animal really, and the animals, all animals, even wild animals, even the tiger behind you, like they're all trying, they're all trying to get our attention
Yeah.
and accept their invitation to come back to who we are because our species is so disconnected. So grief really is one of those, I would say, like bigger invitations or bigger openings to walk through. But behaviors can be exactly the same thing. Like you
Right.
may have a dog that is quote unquote aggressive.
Anger is the easiest way to express emotions without going deeper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like humans almost say that about dogs, where they're like aggressive to not go further into the work, right?
Yes. Yeah. Or to not even explore that connectivity, right? Like if people, and I do think there's almost like a vicious circle, if you will.
Mhm.
Humans are so nervous about connection, not just with each other, but with their true inner selves. Like we've been taught not to do that. The church, all these different organizations have taught us to separate, right?
Sure.
And so then in an effort to keep us protected, we get aggressive, we get anxious. That's that anxiety too. So
Yeah.
then our animals begin to reflect that back on us. So then they're aggressive, which then we get more separated. And it just becomes this whole thing until the
Right.
animal's like, will you look at yourself?
Gotta break the loop. The loop.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
So I went into psychosis twice with Nava around, and I felt like she was the string to my balloon and completely like, holy shit, what am I going to do with my mom? It just reminded me of that because I wouldn't get on the highway here because it was called Loop 1. Because I like my psychosis was amazing. I mean, it was amazing for me only.
Uh-huh.
She was just like, she was my rock during that. And so I'm grateful for the grounding because I had no idea what that meant, which is why I think I went from like here to level 15 really quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. What's her take on that?
Oh, well, let's just ask her. I got to connect in with her. I didn't do that.
Oh, yeah. Do you
All
need to get into it? Like, is that something?
Well, some people, it just depends. I mean, all of my teachers have talked about our intuition is a muscle. And also with this separateness and this disconnection, we've been taught to separate from that intuition. women, because we've been not necessarily the favored gender, if you will, we haven't really let go.
Yeah.
So it's more easy for us to be able to kind of strengthen that muscle. Guys have it too. There's a whole lot of other baggage, but
Right.
I've done this now for so many years. The muscle, to so to say, is stronger. So it doesn't take me long. What's harder for me is trusting that it's there, like,
Yeah.
because I'm like, boom, it'll happen and be like, oh, no. I got to do my thing. And it's like, no, it's there. And I just have to trust it. But yeah, that makes sense so far.
Yeah.
So let me just connect in with Nava, female dog and spirit. She's just like doing this with her, like, it's about time. She's reminding me she's referred to herself as a badass, right?
No.
No?
I think she's a badass.
Okay. All right. I thought she had referred to herself as a badass
No,
before.
she referred to herself as a crone, which is why I said, hey, cronies.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You wanted to be like, oh, thank you for your wisdom. And she was, no, we're equals.
Oh.
But yeah, when I asked her if she was the queen, she was like, yes, obviously.
Yeah, true. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, there's your badass too.
Yeah.
And just too, like, I don't remember, right? And I don't take notes. I always leave it, just to let it be, and they'll remind me what I need to remember. But anyways, but she's just like, hi, it's about time. And yeah, she says again, thanks for getting my good side in that picture too. So you wanted to know if she was your rock during
like the string to my balloon. I guess, how did she feel about that whole experience for me? What was her role in it?
First of all, how she felt in it when that part of the question happens, I can feel in my body there is a heaviness. It's more like she's the anchor on the balloon. I just feel like my whole body just went, whoo, and I could just feel myself sinking in. And it's almost like, or not almost like, she always says too, that it's how she felt about it. What I want to say, I'm trying to see how she wants to divvy this up, because she's showing me a lot of different symbols. And I'm like, okay. There's like a hunkering down feeling that she's like, okay, here we go. This is like step one. Because you said there were two, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So she's like, okay, step one. So she's like, okay, here we go. We're going to hunker down. And what I'm hearing her say, and I can almost feel like my body being able to regulate itself from her perspective of, I'm going to need less. And there's like this really intense focus on you. Like everything goes right to you. Yeah. There's just this whole sense of now the purpose begins is kind of this. And just this real, and I even hear her say like the crone, like you said that you remind me of the crone, like that. Okay, now that's online. Here we go, front and center. I've got this. She needs to do what she's going to do. Like she shows me sitting in like holding space in one place while you're doing whatever it is you were doing. I'm just going to stay right here. I'm going to stay absolutely calm.
Yeah.
Because if I can do that, she can slowly, like it's almost like a whirly gig starts to stop.
Like
does that make sense?
Tasmanian devil. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Like Tasmanian devil kind of like.
Yeah. In my psychosis, which I'm like, this must be what it feels like for a spiritual being or someone who's tapped into the intuitive world, but grounded. Like mine was very ungrounded at the time.
Oh, yeah, that could be. I mean, I will say that for me personally, and I do want to answer your other question with her. For me, when I am grounded and tapped in, it's like I see the connectedness of all things. It's almost like I see this whole, you say the word matrix, but it's like a big spider web. And it's like, oh, this is connected to that through this.
Yeah, string theory is what I think. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And it gets really blissful because it's like, oh, it all makes sense. And I'd rather stay there than be here, sometimes because this is like a shit show, right? So it's just like, why would I be in all like, oh wow, it all makes sense. And then we can't.
I know.
Yeah.
Would you say that's the fifth dimension to third dimension?
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it.
I loved being in the rabbit hole. And then I came out and I was like, but I learned in that the same was what you were saying. Everything's on a spectrum. Everything's connected. My personal downloads were plants and colors and animals and rap too. It's just funny because you had explained before that the animals give you 80s references?
Yes.
Music?
Yeah. That's because that's my jam.
Yeah. Well, I heard 369, damn, you're fine. And and when, like the 369 theory and all of that. So I was like, that is the funniest way for whoever was letting me know that, I'm like, yes.
Yeah. And you wanted to know her role, but because I don't know, I think we set the role. I think she gave the role and like just being focused
Yeah,
on
yeah.
it. But it was just, but there feels like there's another little bit of it about you having what I'm hearing her say is being this anchor of unconditional love that to show you that it's absolutely possible to achieve it yourself
Yeah.
through all of that. Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Yeah. I feel like an ego death is a huge turning point, and I
Yeah.
feel like Dark Night of the Soul is a huge turning point too.
Mhm.
And that's just what I've experienced so far. So I'm like, what's the next step? Or is it kind of all goes back to that in different forms? Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
So to
Yeah.
me, this is what I encounter. The animals are like the invitation to start to accept
Uh-huh.
that ego death, if
Yeah.
you will, through
Yeah.
whatever way they're trying to get you, grief, behavior, whatnot.
Right.
So like for me, in the work that I do, they begin the conversation with your inner self because
Mhm.
they see your inner self for what it is.
Yeah.
And then they can either continue to be your coach, or you can, with what I offer, you can also move into working with your guides alongside your dog
Right.
too.
You do.
Cat or llama.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
llama. You
Yeah.
got a llama?
I have not talked to the llama. I've talked with cows, horses, lizards, snakes, ferrets. I think that's it for right now. I have not talked with the llama yet. I'm hoping to
Do you hear
someday.
their voices, or do they just show you symbols and sounds, or?
All of the above. All
Oh,
of the above. Yeah, I can. And sometimes they have accents, which is fun. Sometimes they will animate me and like, hey, like, cause they'll move like this, cha cha
yeah.
or whatever, depends on who they are. I can hear, I can see, they'll give me movies, they'll give me visuals, I'll hear
Yeah.
songs that we talked about. I will feel in my body how they felt at certain points in times. I can have them move the timeline. So say somebody crossed and the human's really nervous about how they crossed, I can ask the animal to move the timeline. So it's like a month before or 2 months before, or the moment they crossed.
Yeah.
And I can share with the human, because we're nervous, we did the wrong thing.
Right. I was gonna say that has to be like the most common thing. Did I,
Yeah.
should I, would I, could I? You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. And to share with the human how the animal was feeling as it progressed, it gives relief because we really can't get this wrong. We
Yeah.
really can't get it wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
The animal just shows you how. I have tasted. I don't taste a lot. There is a clair for taste, and I don't remember what the word is because there's
Yeah.
clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience, claircognizance. So I get a ton of downloads.
Yeah.
I just had a session where I was getting all these downloads, and I'm like, oh, I couldn't even speak because it's like I can't untangle it fast enough to be
Right.
able to. Yeah.
Yeah. Do chihuahuas talk more?
The Chihuahua. So see, like, this is a download. I'm like, from Chihuahuas, if you will, as a whole.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
are-
All right. Sorry, I didn't say it yet.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Because I don't want to be stereotypical of Chihuahuas.
Right. Yeah.
Many of them have attitudes. And for me, what I don't rely on what they physically look like. Like, I don't even want to know
Yeah.
because I love to understand who they were.
Uh-huh.
So like Chihuahuas a lot of times can come through as German Shepherds,
Yeah.
or they'll come through as Great Danes,
Uh-huh.
or something much bigger. And then when I say, they're like, no, that doesn't make sense because it was a Chihuahua. I'm like, I see you. Chihuahuas do this all the time.
They're like,
A lot of them are feisty. They just they're very good with boundaries. So a lot of people who have Chihuahuas
Yeah.
need help with boundaries, at least in my experience. That may not be for every person.
I believe in reincarnation and an afterlife. And I feel like from what you do, you have to believe that.
Yeah.
Because you're talking on the other side. So when it comes to communicating with animals, do they tell you about past lives together?
Oh, yeah. All the time. Didn't Nava talk about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I think she's been a human before, right?
I don't hear that from her.
Okay.
And here's why. And it could just be, she just might be one that hasn't had the experience. And the training I received from Danielle McKinnon too, she has taught us that animals always are animals because they're unconditional love. We're the only species that hasn't mastered unconditional love.
Yeah.
So, however, that just means that's been her experience. That doesn't mean that, I mean, we don't know. We have no idea.
Yeah.
I have not had an experience. Well, I take that back. I had one. I did a psychic fair and there was a young girl. I don't even think she was in her teens yet. And her grandmother really wanted her to have a reading. And
Mhm.
she had been a wolf in a previous life, but like ancient.
Yeah.
And it really kind of surprised me just because I'd had that training and I thought, okay, you know, whatever. And then here, but you have to be, even though you're trained,
Yeah.
and the best teachers will tell you, as Danielle and the Lightfoot way of too, is that I'm going to tell you what I've experienced. Now you take that and then you experience your own
Right.
stuff. Right.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so I can have the training, but I have to be open to all this other stuff. So to have this girl across from me, and then her grandmother said that makes complete sense because she's obsessed with wolves.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh, okay. But she's like, but not in a biology kind of way and like an environmental studies kind of way. But there's a deeper, like as if she had, I don't know, like as if she came from other cultures, that kind of thing. There was something more to it. She's like, we haven't been able to put our finger on it, but now we get it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, those were my downloads too, where people came up as different animals, but it also just wasn't this realm either. But
That
yeah.
could totally be. Yeah.
Yeah.
That you have that experience and I haven't had that. That's cool. That's totally cool. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Mhm.
Yeah. Can you shut it off at all? Like talking,
Yeah. Oh,
like,
yeah.
we're done, class is
Yeah.
over.
Yeah. At the end of every reading, I disconnect from the animal. I even have a little reminder in my phone because if I get busy, so every night I get dinged at 8, make sure you disconnect from everything that you
Oh,
connected with.
yeah. It's like
And at the
closing
same
tab.
time, yeah. I mean, because it's energy, and I don't know if people have ever watched like Tyler Henry or whatnot, but he talks about the physical toll that it takes. And I just had an event in New York City, not last weekend, but the weekend before, where my podcast co-host and we did 120 minutes, so 2 hours worth of readings back to back to back to back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
We were floored afterwards. I've had that experience to some degree with like a psychic fair, but this was so intense because there was so much noise. It was in a restaurant. I couldn't control my space even, you know? So yeah, it can be really exhausting. So I have to disconnect from them at the end of every reading or for sure before I go to bed at night. Lots of gratitude and all of that. I do find though that I am always connected to some degree. So, right. Because that intuition muscle is strong. So I'm going to walk into a room and go, oh, this is not where I'm supposed to be right now. You know, but that's intuition too. Yeah.
This whole time I'm like trying to ignore him. I get signs all the time, but the Elvis thing after Nava passed away was wild and it's still happening. I still see Elvis like every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for the listeners, right after Nava passed away, she was giving me signs of all senses, but specifically Elvis became a theme in it. And I am very into when I'm going through something to listening to what strangers say repetitively to me a little bit. And I'm like, oh, okay, I should take that advice. A girl came into my shop and was like, I think it's time for you to reread Signs by Laura Lynn Jackson. My favorite book, I think, ever. It's what helped me in general pick up on this. I have a vintage store here in Austin, and I had gone to my friend's estate sale. It was the last day, and I picked something up, and they had a box full of puzzles. So I grabbed 3 because they were just going to donate them. I didn't look at them, and I brought them home because I'm completely disassociating, like Walking Dead after Nava passed away, you know? So I'm doing the puzzle and listening to the book at the same time on Audible, and it comes up that, you know, she's telling the story about her experience with all other customers or people. And then it comes down to her story specifically near the end of it. And it was my dad wouldn't cross over until he heard the song Elvis Presley, Love Me Tender. Kind of the week before, I was like, I didn't know this Elvis reference is sometimes it's like for other people. And I'm like, oh no, this is for me. So I pause it and I listen to the song Elvis Presley, Love Me Tender. And, you know, it's love me tender, love me true, all my love fulfill with you, for my darling, I love you, and I always will. And that was like exactly what I needed to hear that day from Nava. And I look down and the puzzle I'm doing is Elvis Presley, Love Me Tender. And you're like, how did you not know? I'm like, it is a 1,000-piece puzzle. And I had just finished this tiny part on the Paramount Production Studio that said Elvis Presley, Love Me Tender.
Yeah. And she's reminding me that there was certain symbolisms that she was used. That's why she was using Elvis.
Yeah.
right? Because it was like being a rebel or something. Wasn't it? Didn't have something to do with you? Like she's also sending you additional messages of you like embracing like your rebel self or something, right?
Yeah, she was saying that like basically people try to put me in a box and they can't. And it also has to do with like with the way that I dance. Like I dance at work and I'm pretty provocative like on my like social media accounts.
Uh-huh.
So you could either take me or leave me. Like people either love or hate me. It's been like that my whole life. So
Yeah.
yeah, she's like, keep moving your hips. And she referenced the way that she moved her hips to help other people too. But I always called that sugar shoulders.
Yeah.
Is that, I mean, am I covering that? Is Nava thing?
Yeah. No, yeah. She just is reminding, she was just saying, yeah, remember when you said Elvis Presley, then she gave me a little bit of what, because I guess I don't remember till they decide to tell me. So yeah.
I know. So yeah, I see it anytime, like the store has become a portal. So anytime I talk to someone who's on the same frequency as me, they end up sending me something from Elvis like the next day. Or that like someone had left my shop and went somewhere else and sent me like an Elvis cup. So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just when you talk about the matrix, right? Like this is also Nava sending you additional connections.
Yeah. So that girl actually that I just met in passing at the shop, it was just so crazy because I brought in this jumpsuit. Her friend fit it perfectly. I had met her before, and there's a picnic table by my shop. And if we connect, we end up taking a break and hanging out at the picnic table. But she brought a friend in. The jumpsuit fit her friend like a glove. And then she ended up inviting me to her friend's podcast, and I'm going to go to the opening soon. So we're going to have a little connection of her journey on that too.
Yeah.
The other crazy thing about the shop is when I was in psychosis, I kept getting drawn to this one restaurant called Hula Hut. It's kind of a corny, themey Hawaiian place on the water here. I had never been before, but the entire time I got pulled there. I ended up getting strapped to a stretcher with my tit out like Britney Spears. And I know it's all for the story. It's all for the plot, right? Within that 6-month window of in between, I realized that I'm like, I can't keep staying at these other places and selling. It was sucking my soul. So after I left the psych ward the second time, I was like, I'm not going back to where my stuff is. I'm going to get it moved and I'm going to go somewhere else. And I drive past this place. It's for rent. And so immediately I'm like, okay, called him. We met. And within the hour, I gave my deposit and we're sitting in the bank and I'm like, oh, what's the coolest thing you've ever done in your life? He's like, I used to play baseball in Hawaii and I named a whole restaurant based off the theme of that. I don't know if you've heard. It's called Hula Hut. And I just fell out of my chair laughing because of course it is. Like now he's my landlord. And ironically, his restaurant was sold right before I left. So it was like this whole chapter went. And my shop is on the street called Medical. And at the end of the street, there's a place called New Dimension. And on the other end of the street is the hospital called Ascension. So my shop has become this portal for people. It's pretty magical. Yeah, I'm sure like a humor is a huge frequency that I feel like my spirit guides like to put me in funny positions for their entertainment, but also I'm like, oh, I get it. Like I'm down for the joke.
Oh yeah. Well, and the animals will use it too, especially in grief. Because I don't know if you've ever read the book Power versus Force.
No, but I will.
Okay, yeah, I'll make sure. Yeah, I'll make sure you got the right. Anyway, but it's a guy. Oh shoot, Hawkins is his last name, not Steven. It's a different guy, but he maps consciousness, and he has a page, a spread in there that talks about the different vibrations of energy, and joy is way up there. So when someone's in a grief support session, the animal will do something invariably to make it, particularly if they're really down and depressed, which is understandable.
Yeah.
The animal will do something to allow their human to laugh, which raises the vibration. So then the messages can land even more. So humor, absolutely.
Yeah. Remember Nava showed you a huge pizza right at the beginning.
Okay. I don't remember. I kind of remember.
But right at the beginning, you were like, there's a suckiness about grief and passing and all of this. And then the good in people, the bad in people, the sky, the leaves, the trees. And then you go, and then she's just showing me a huge pizza. Which ironically, and I didn't tell you this at the time, but I had just made a funny reel about putting a sheet over the bed. And I was like, let's put it down so we don't make a mess. And then it's me eating pizza and she pops in the back. And that had just happened right before she passed. So I was just so funny.
Oh my gosh, that's wild.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's so cool.
Because you're like, I guess she wants to eat pizza.
Yeah, I don't know what it meant. I'm just like, yeah. And that's the other thing. Like, I can't interpret, right? I have to share what I got and you interpret. Because if I do it, I'll make a mess of it because I've got my own stuff and filters and everything.
Yeah. Do you record your episodes or your, what is it called? Like your
Sessions or readings.
Yeah, your readings. Thank you. Your reading. When you record it for me, I end up going back and writing notes on it. Do other people do that too?
Yes, I actually encourage people to do that.
Okay.
Because if they, in the session or in the reading itself, if they can stay more fully present and just allow what's going on, that's one really good way to let the information in. The other thing that's happening though is sometimes, many times, there's so many other layers to the information that the animal's trying to relay, like that matrix thing, right?
Yeah.
So then you can go back and watch it, take notes. There's a transcript that you get to, so you can do any of that type of stuff, but then it gives you the chance to really sit with it, let it come in, and then you can go back and try and integrate it.
Yeah.
So I do encourage it.
If someone's planning a session with you, do you tell them to make sure they have questions or you just have it open-ended?
Well, right now, what I tell them to do is to make sure that they're in a safe, secure place, like that they can speak freely. Because I do find that many people, particularly women, grief in particular as a whole isn't supported in Western culture. And then you add pet loss on top of that, and people will think you're nuts, right? So my biggest instruction is just make sure you are in a comfortable place where you can speak openly and you can be who you are. I used to offer shorter sessions, but they're not as fun because the animals, I love having the animals go deeper.
Yeah.
But I do say you can ask, 3 to 4 questions or whatever it may be. But if someone's really in grief, even though they have questions, to some degree, they start to second guess themselves. So I find people don't know. They just want to make sure their animal's okay, but they're too afraid or something. They hold themselves back to ask others. So I have some that can help prompt, somebody. Yeah.
No, I feel like when people are put on the spot, they're like, oh, wait, I don't actually know what I want to ask.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Not all their dogs are as talkative as Nava.
Yeah. Yeah. They're all talkative. Everybody's talkative.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. Sometimes they'll wait for their human to ask the question because they're trying to get their human to open up their throat chakra and their sense of expression.
Yeah.
So they may just hold on. And so I'm like, okay, I see him sitting there. They're waiting, what is it that you really want to know? Well, I don't really know. Yes, you do. And then they'll give me hints.
Yeah.
You really want to know about this? I do. Okay, then we'll talk about that. But yeah.
I know. I can feel Nava.
Yeah. She's like front and center. I'm looking through her fur.
So funny.
Yeah.
You told me before that dogs will come through or animals will come through as like a different breed.
Yeah. All the time. Yeah. Yeah. And there's something in that. There's a message in that.
Yeah. So when we read on Nava the first time, she described herself as an Australian shepherd with like speckly eyes. And I was like, wait, what? And then the next day I'm at this restaurant and I'm on the ground with the dog as I do.
Yep.
And my friend comes out and was like, oh, what's the dog's name? I was like, oh, I didn't ask. And then the dog's name was Kava and it was Australian shepherd with speckled eyes. And I was like, okay, so she said that as like a humor, like for me to pay attention to a sign later. Yeah.
Well, isn't that interesting? The dog's name was Kava and this is Nava. Like how close can we get here?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, of course, that's why. Like I don't know if it's like a pre-plan, but I mean, yeah.
Well, and even too, like the fact that she came through as an Australian shepherd that time. And now that I know a little bit more about what all she did for you, right, in this conversation, I can see why she came through as an Australian shepherd, because there is also this herding.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. And great care, right? When they go to herd something, they're not causing injury. They're not causing harm. They're doing it very like this kind of a way. So yeah, to me, that's the reasons why when they come through as breeds.
I just her trying to be like, Mom, bring it together.
Yeah.
About following my craziness.
Right. Well, and she says it, she goes more like I was just holding space. Like I was just holding space instead of trying to, they never chide, right? They never shame. They never blame, even if they've been abused before. In this current incarnation, for me, anything on the left-hand side is typically the past. If, I do get a lot of people that have rescue dogs and they want to understand what happened before they got them. Some dogs won't tell you, or animals, I shouldn't say just dogs, but cats, some will not say, because it's not for the human's greatest and highest good.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And also, does it have yes, abuse is horrible.
Mhm.
And there's reasons why they chose that contract.
Yeah.
And there's things.
I've worked on it. Let's start new.
Yeah, exactly. I worked on it with that person for that reason, and whatever my role there was done. And we don't necessarily understand it because of this not being from a place of unconditional love. So that we struggle with that. And then we attach to it. And then we start to put stuff on the end. They're like, no, that's done. So I'm not showing you. No. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't. It just depends.
Do you work alongside dog trainers a lot? And if so, would you recommend someone coming to you first and then them getting a game plan?
I do work with dog trainers. I love working with dog trainers, and I love the dog trainers that are open to this, as well as veterinarians too. There are veterinarians that are open to this too. I don't know if I have a preference either way, only because what I actually really like is the partnership between me, the trainer, the animal, and the human. When everybody's in partnership, so the me and the trainer and the human and the animal, and everybody's working together.
Yeah.
It really, to some degree, stems from the human, because as open as they can be and allowing as much of this, it actually just sets everybody else up for success.
Right.
If the trainer evaluates the animal first and then comes to me and says, okay, this is cool. Can you tap in and see what the dog says or whatnot?
Yeah.
That's great. If they would rather rely because they're not 100% certain, that's okay too. Whatever works best for the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I knew you then. But now, so people still try to get me to dog train. I'm like, I'm retired. I can't do it anymore. I went in hard for a while, and now I'm like, this is a different era for me. I had asked you about Nava. Did she think she was the queen around the dogs? And you said it actually humbled her because she had. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. When you were the dog trainer and she was, I was thinking when she was with other dogs that weren't in a professional setting, then yes, of course, but in a professional setting to be of service that way. Yeah, absolutely.
This picture is when she described this is what she looks like when she had to be like this around the other dogs. It was like because of an example, but that was, she had shown me that picture through you. It was funny.
Oh, that is funny, because what I feel in that, even in that picture, it's like there is that of service stance.
Yeah.
And then just the way that her head is held, but she's got the smile. It's not like of service and I'm better. It's like of service and hey, come in, invitation. Yeah. Good. Well done. She's like, well done.
So anyone who has known me in the past decade has known Nava. They still talk about her at the shop. It's just so cute. Yeah.
She's not going anywhere.
Yeah. And people are like, Nava sending me messages.
Yes.
I guess like my question for her is, what did she like being a dog trainer for the other dogs, or did she like being a shop dog? Or did she like just swimming only?
Like, well, why do I have to choose? Like, queens don't have to choose.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing her say is she liked all of it. She had different aspects of the three. So like the dog training aspect, it was also, not only was there being the service of the dog and being the role model, but there was also like a calming effect to the humans because they could see what was possible.
Yeah.
And also because she was just so gorgeous. She said that it was just, she could show them what was possible. And they could
Funny, I would always say that she's my worst example because no one's paid me to train her. Because, when it's your own dog or the shoemaker's shoes, like that kind of thing, she could do no wrong in my book,
Right. No. Yeah, I know. Got the same thing with Lucas, who's at my feet right now. Yeah. Totally. So there was that aspect of it. And then at the shop, it was more about what I'm hearing her say. It was like, oh, look, I can be integrated into a place that typically I'm not allowed. And look at the joy I bring when people realize that I'm here. And then when they realize that there's a whole lot going on behind this facade, that there's like this connection kind of a thing. And that she really liked at the shop. Yeah.
No, I'm telling you, they still talk about her. I'm like, oh, she's here. She's here.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the swimming, she's like, swimming was just what we did for her. Like, that was fun. That was just pure fun. Let's just go hang out, like her Netflix and chill kind of a thing is what I'm hearing her say.
Yeah. I also wanted to thank you for asking her where to put her ashes. Do people tend to ask that kind of stuff? Where
Yeah.
them to do? Yeah. What's the craziest answer a dog has given or a pet has given?
I don't know if any of them are, they're all kind of beautiful and moving, like,
Yeah.
because each answer, I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about in the conversation, right? So I'm just giving them the raw data, if you will, and to see the person go, I know exactly what they're talking about. Like if it's a place, like, oh my gosh, I know exactly what we're talking about, whatever. Or sometimes the animal wants their ashes scattered in lots of different places. I haven't yet really, the animal may ask the human to keep a little bit, but that's not for them, it's for the human.
Mm-hmm.
Across the board, the animals are saying, my ashes, they're not me. Like, because they're all inviting us to step into this broader way of being, right?
Yeah.
So, but the ritual of it is what is key, because we've lost the rituals in our Western culture.
Yeah.
We don't allow for grief. We may have a funeral or a celebration of life, and then everybody gets back to their day, right?
Yeah.
And so this is another way that they're inviting us back to ourselves, is let's have a ritual. I had a client who had lost a dog unexpectedly, and she actually did 2 sessions. In the first session, the dog said, this is what I want. And it was her husband. She had some kids as well. This is what I want. Laid out the whole ceremony and whatnot that she asked for. He was like, okay, got it. We'll do it. We'll do it. She then had a session like maybe a month later about something related to the animal that passed, but more on the 2 animals that were still alive, and they were acting up. And so I said, for some reason, I'm being told to connect with the animal that's in spirit.
Yeah.
Is that okay? And she said, yeah, that's fine. And the animal in spirit said, you haven't done the ceremony.
Yeah.
That's why the dogs were acting up, and she's like, no, because even though they said that my husband said he wasn't ready. And I said, and the animal said, he's ready. You have to make it happen. And I have not heard since, but she's like, okay, we'll do it this weekend. My one daughter's coming home. I'm like, okay. So just, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm actually naming this episode, I ate my dog's homework. They give us homework, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I've crossed over, but like, I'm not done teaching you.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
They ever retire though and pass the torch to the new animal, or are they always there still?
They're always there. So even though India and Bono passed the torch to Lucas, they're still around all the time. They may step into the background, depending on what it is at that point that I'm working on for myself. They may step into the background. They may let him take completely over. He may be the one in charge. And then there may be other times when he's working on something, like a big thing that he's worked on with me is just trust, really trusting myself. And there are times when he will be at the forefront, like breaking my leg. And then there'll be other times when, India, I can feel her presence more, and she's just giving a nuance. So they work together. I haven't had it yet where an animal of mine so like I had a bunny when I was a kid, Oblio, and just recently he's popped up again. So I may not think about him for years, but then all of a sudden, oh, this is that thing from okay, gotcha, Oblio. And it may just be a little boop kind of thing or bigger stuff, but I have not yet encountered an animal that disappears. Yeah, I know there it goes. I haven't encountered yet an animal that's disappeared completely.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm in Austin, so it's very dog friendly here, but I'm like, always like, can I bring my dog? I'm like, please bring your dog. I'm so happy that they're here. I have a new little shop dog or I'm trying to train them to be. It's one of the vendors and her name is Dolly Parton. So I'm like, maybe Nava can help that because she's still like weird about when people come in.
Yeah. That's okay. She hasn't quite, that's Nava saying she hasn't quite embraced her full Dolly Parton welcoming of everybody and everything. Yeah, that Dolly is so good at. So she's aptly named.
Yeah.
There's just something in that for you. There's your homework.
It's very cute. Yeah, I feel Nava's given me tiny things that I can help with other dogs. And I had asked her how to give her stuff away, and dogs would just appear. Like yeah. And I'm like, okay, you get this leash and you get this. Like a dog walked into my house and I'm like, okay, here's your food. And it's my neighbor's dog. But yeah, so it's been like really cool to be able to not rid of it, but give her stuff to a good home,
Yeah. put it back into the network or whatever.
Yeah. Do people ask that a lot? Like, how should they get rid of their stuff?
Yeah. Yeah. There's a client that I have now who's actually, her dog passed. And so now we're doing some coaching and whatnot, but her dog said, you can let go of pretty much everything, but not this one piece of mine, which is his tag.
Yeah.
And then has asked her to continue to hold on to it when she's working through some difficult situations. And when she knows she's going into one of those, hold on to the tag, because that helps keep her present and helps bring his energy, that she's more aware of his energy around. So they'll do things like that.
For pause and think. Yeah. I know.
Yeah, exactly.
Does Nava like it?
Oh, loves it. Well, and the thing is like, here's the cool part. You know how we talked earlier about 3:30 and 3:33. So when my dad passed, I had a really hard time being grounded. Because it's so unmooring to lose somebody that was like, I always knew where he was. So I went into this spirit shop here in town and I told her what was happening and what I needed. And I said, and I've heard smoky quartz is what I need. And she's like, okay. So she brings me back and she shows me this.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. And the price
nice too.
And the price on it was $33.33. So I'm like, oh, hey, Dad, I see you. So this comes with me everywhere I go now.
That's awesome. I price things like that at my shop too.
Cool.
Yeah, someone's bringing art actually while I'm here to the shop, and price that price too, which is crazy.
Nice, yeah, that is.
But yeah, I mean, the word crazy I love, but I think it gets a negative connotation. But it's like, what else do you explain something that you haven't experienced or can't understand?
Right. Yeah. And it comes back to that disconnection. We're just so afraid of greater thing that we are and also a part of.
Yeah.
Well, and I wish we weren't, because it's kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, human school is not fun. It can be, obviously, but it's the lowest vibrational planet in the universe. So we're here to teach us. We're here to teach each other. And when we were talking about frequency earlier, I've learned recently that authenticity is the highest, or vibrates higher than love. I don't know where it's at with joy, but
yeah, I'll have to look. But yeah, that makes total sense. Yeah. If you're authentic, you are in love, right? You're standing in love. Because I don't know if you've ever studied A Course in Miracles, but there's love and there's fear.
Yeah.
So we either stand in love or we stand in fear. There's really not a whole lot of wiggle room. So, yeah.
Does Nava want to tell us anything? Just anything.
It's so funny. There's a couple things. One for you. One is, there is a store in Los Angeles, but they just moved to Palm Springs. And the guy that runs it, he does astrology on Instagram. I see him, I follow him. I think he's amazing. He's always in black and he's got long black hair. And and there's something about that vibe that she's saying, like, that, because you talk about how your store is and whatnot, that she's saying is like similar vibe kind of thing. Some people might look at him and think he's weird or crazy or whatever. I look at him and I'm like, you are amazing. So she's saying for you, continue to embrace all that, because that just really stands you apart from everybody else. So she's like, to push your business forward and whatnot. Does that make sense so far?
Yeah.
Okay. And oddly enough, he's in black, as was Elvis, right? Because she always
only wear black with you. It's so weird. I actually was going to wear a different color, but I don't know if you heard that beep a minute ago, but it's in the dryer. And I was going to wear pink. And then I randomly found this in the closet because I wanted to wear sweats. And I was like, I wear black when I talk to you. It's so weird.
There you go. Yeah, that's cool.
Color of grief too. So it makes sense.
It's the absence of all colors, right? Too black, but I love black. I think black, it's one of my favorite colors. Yeah.
I mean, I used to wear it all the time, but now I like to dress more bold, but it's ironic that keeps becoming a theme every time we talk. So that was one thing you said.
Yeah. And let me see, there was something else. There's what I'm just hearing her say. Okay. So I don't know where you're thinking of hanging that picture of hers, but she would like something in the store that's also like a little Nava space in the store.
Okay. I have it next to all her other stuff in the corner of my room.
Okay.
I show everyone her photo. Okay. She wants to be in the store. Okay.
Yeah. She wants to have a little energetic space and like a little chair. And that's like where people can come and just kind of have like a cup of tea or something. I don't know but something about a little place that she can hold space for other people, and dogs can curl up on the chairs if they need to.
I know what spot. Yeah. But it's funny that she mentions that too, because I have a shop, but it's more of a hangout place.
Oh,
Get anything anywhere online now. You know what I
yes.
mean? So I think people come for the connection of it too. The funny thing is like once you come, you never leave. And I'm like, you guys can leave, you can go home. But it's more just like, when
I love
they're
that
in the
though.
yeah.
We need that now more than ever. So keep
Yeah.
doing it is what I'm hearing her say. Don't stop. There's more. There's so much more
Yeah.
you can do with all of that too. And have fun with is what she's saying. Just
Yeah.
have fun and play. She's like, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Okay,
Don't stop.
cool.
Yeah.
Does she want to tell anything to our listeners or you?
The biggest thing I hear her say is, and she said it before you even finished, she was like, believe in this connection, believe that you can do this, believe that we're here to help, believe that everything happens. I know people hate it when you say everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
It's true though. I mean, it's more like everything happens for a reason and you get to do with it what you will,
Yeah.
but do something with it.
I'm almost like crying since for the past 20 minutes, I've been like holding it back, which is so wild because I don't necessarily feel sad right now. I feel grateful, but my eyes are like been tearing up.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
more like I remember the first time we talked, I was like, I need to message you again. I'm not sure why. That's what I don't know if you remember that. And you're like,
No.
okay, well, like, here's the information you can message. But now it all makes sense that you would, of course, be my first guest on this new
Yep.
podcast. And yeah, I'm just, again, so grateful for you. So thank you for joining.
You're welcome. I'm so grateful to be here too. I'm so grateful to know you and Nava. You both are amazing. So yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
I know we're both badasses.
Yes, absolutely.
How can people find you? How can people book with you?
I've got a website. It's juliehirt-intuitive.com, or you can use trusttheanimals.com. I have that URL. They both come to the same place. I have all my services on there, whether it is the animal communication, the intuitive coaching, or the grief support, and everything's there. You can book. I host pet loss grief circles once a month as well. And I've got one coming up on the 23rd of November. They're always on Sundays. I do that with somebody who's a trauma-informed yoga instructor. So she helps with breath work as we move through. But in that space, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And in that space, there's only room for 8, if you will, so that we keep this sense of community. And people shift, they come and go, but the messages that come through start to weave into larger messages. It's pretty cool every single time. Yeah. So that's how they can find me.
I think that's funny that you said 8 because 8's abundance, but it's also you're saying it's like limited, which is a part of me that I love. Do you want to give anyone a promo code?
Oh, yeah, sure. If anybody watches this and is curious about having a reading, use the promo code intuition and you'll receive 10% off your reading.
Amazing. Thank you for offering my cronies that.
Yeah, absolutely. My pleasure.
And then how can people listen to your podcast?
It's called the Animal Communication Podcast. It's part of a larger network called mindbodyspirit.fm. And you can also find it on Apple or any of your other favorite podcast platforms, which wherever you want podcasts, the Animal Communication Podcast is there.
I'll link all this as well.
Okay.
But yeah, tell Nava I love her.
Oh, she knows it. She's like, are you kidding me? Please. And then she does this with her fur again.
Oh, what's funny is that's like Glinda.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Wizard of Oz always comes up somehow in our conversation.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Thank you so much. It's not over between us either. So
okay. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Thank
our
you.
connection is just beginning.
Oh, cool.
All
awesome.
right. Thank
okay.
you.
Yep. Thank you.
Bye.
A special thanks to Nava, Julie, and all of you cronies for listening. Come join us next week where we talk about Akashic Records. Stay crazy. Bye.
Bye.